Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is James with G and Invasion.
This is Charles.
And this is Jacob. Let's get this started.
Oh
Yeah.
So, Defenders came out last week.
Yep.
It did. And I watched
18.
it.
Goodness.
I watched it all.
I binge watched it in a day.
Yeah, I think that's become the regular for
That's what it's
Neflix.
supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's
Ours happened over a day. I got off work early enough and started watching it.
if they didn't want us to binge it, they wouldn't give it all right
But that's
there.
just Netflix's MO.
And we only got like 15 seconds to stop the episode before it goes to another one.
It's a special type of drug where you have to take it all at once or you just ain't gonna finish it.
But yet still to do stuff to good stuff like Castlevania, and then you want more. But that's
Why you ripping open old wounds, bruh? I thought we was done with that, dog.
I need
Why
cold
you
cuts.
doing that, dog?
I need cold cuts.
Nah, man.
Let's
That's
go.
still hot.
Let's
It's still hot.
Let's go with these fresh ones right now.
Oh yeah. So
Defenders.
so who wants to start off? Did people like it?
I'll start it off. How about you, man? I'll start it off.
Oh.
You know, so Defenders itself, when it first came on, you know, it got me kind of hype at the, when I first was like, oh snap, I get Luke Cage back, I got Jessica Jones back, you know what I'm saying? I got the Daredevil back. I might see Stick, because Stick is gangster.
Oh, you knew Stick was going to
Oh,
go.
I know
Stick's
that
always
was
gangster.
gangster,
Yeah.
And then, of course, Iron Fist is gonna come back. But you know, he surprised me, man. He surprised me this season.
Someone's got to be Tito.
He decided to act this season, so I was happy to see that, you know, the actor who plays as Danny Rand,
Yeah. He took some acting lessons.
he decided to say, you know what, I want to actually be somewhat believable, and you know, he brought it to the table a little bit.
But one thing you could say about that, though, like speaking for the character, I'm not speaking for the actor or anything, but you could take that as a growing period. Kind
Nah,
of?
man.
Or-
Because they still
What I'm
screwed
getting at,
Danny Rand's
what I'm
character.
getting at is this.
Well, I think it was better than.
No, it was better.
No, it was better, but what I'm saying is this. The way that they wrote his character
They
was
wrote
that
it.
as a whiny little...
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he wasn't the only one.
Stubborn-
If we talk about the writing of the character.
No. But it okay.
Yeah.
The person who played Danny Rand, they literally looked like they told him, "Hey, we want you to be stubborn and just be
And pretentious.
an a-hole."
And a jerk.
That and it
And
doesn't
make
fit his
everybody
character.
hate you.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. He can't do that acting.
I
portrayal.
agree. It didn't fit him, but because of what the story was or lack their story of, they needed that to be there.
But
They
that's
needed-
why I said in Defenders, he must have went over the summertime and took some acting lessons, because this is at least 30% better than Iron Fist for his acting.
You're working with the same people as well, and you're the same character. You got some time with it, so yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though. I mean, as far as this particular series is concerned, I felt like the Defenders was more like
Lackluster.
no, not even. I felt like it was Iron Fist Part 2
I know what you're saying.
with
It felt
Daredevil .5.
It felt like, honestly, it felt like a prequel to Defenders rather than Defenders. It felt like
You like to start off with them,
leftovers.
actually?
It felt like the leftovers.
It didn't have as
of
much
all-
meat as I would like it to have, and honestly, the villains themselves were okay, but
Yeah.
it just they didn't give me the satisfaction that I was given, especially when I was watching Luke Cage, because those villains were villains.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Daredevil dealing with some villains. You know, I mean, Part 1 and 2, both of them, those were some villains.
I felt.
I mean, even Jessica Jones with Killgrave.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
a villain.
I felt this was the leftovers of a lot of pieces of each show put all into one.
Yeah,
and then they dealt with
they dealt with a lot of the stuff like they,
past issues, but
they
then
quickly dealt
later-
with with Luke Cage. They quickly dealt
Here's
with
the thing, though. How did y'all feel about character development and also the symmetry? Because it actually, like you were saying before, it felt more
wasn't
like
symmetrical.
there was more Daredevil. Daredevil and Iron Fist, because of them having to deal with their hand, it seemed like they had more airtime than what they needed to have. And the few points that they focused on Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, it's almost like, hey, we had this thing going on. it took you too long to come back. You could have DM'd me or something. Like that's what it felt like.
It felt when it comes to like the relationships building and stuff like that. It felt they focused a lot on smaller parts. Try to get the conflict and stuff going between them rather than action. Let
me get into it with you guys.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I help keep this a little structured too, because we're going kind of bouncing around.
Yep.
But getting back onto the topic itself, being the main villain, the plot itself, I felt that it wasn't symmetrical because the villain was, of course, the Hand, and everybody dealt with the Hand in some kind of way. Supposedly, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage kind of just got thrown into the mix in their own way. I mean, they dealt with the Hand as of recent, whereas, of course, Daredevil and Iron Fist and Rand has dealt with them in previous iterations of their own shows. So it wasn't as symmetrical, and I felt that there should have been a little bit more building up with Luke Cage's dealings with the Hand, and especially Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
like she wasn't really represented at all when it comes to her character development and actually showing off some of her strengths and whatnot. Yeah, she had one series, but she only also had one season. I mean, Luke Cage had one season also, but Daredevil's already here at 2 seasons. He's gotten a chance to show a whole plethora of what he can do. I mean, heck, if you put them in a room together, you still feel like Daredevil can beat up Jessica Jones in a way.
Yeah.
You feel like it.
We've seen.
What I'm really getting at is the plot itself, the characters, the main characters, and then of course then you get to your villains. You know what I'm saying? Your villains themselves. You got the main villain that shows herself. At first you're thinking, oh snap, she's telling Madame Gal what to do. She's telling everybody else what to
feed the birds.
Yeah,
feed my birds.
And the funny thing is I like her character and how they did it, but they kind of made her like a shadow in a sense in the beginning episodes, and then they started showing more of her a little bit too quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like they rushed her in and out. Like they just.
I've always felt it was going to come down to Elektra. Because, I mean, they've been hinting at, and like we said, it did feel like Daredevil 2.5.
I felt like they didn't know how to bring her in.
Yeah, and I felt that part right there where he said they didn't know how to bring her in, that caused the problem we had with the original Hand. Which it didn't seem like the writing, the story, they didn't know what to do with them.
And there was definitely some parts that we liked and we really enjoyed, especially a lot of the dialogue that they had between each other. Like Luke Cage and Danny Rand actually, having their little, conversations from when they first met to their growth, between each other. You actually see them start to become buddies in a way.
Future heroes for hire.
Yeah, somewhat.
I think it's more of it's a strong respect more than
a reference to rather than
like a strong respect. Yeah. I mean, when you watch the show, you'll see. So
there was some self-fulfilling parts in like the second episode that.
Yeah, there was. There was definitely some good parts that you would enjoy.
So, I mean, we talked about the story. We talked about the heroes, pretty much. I mean, you can't really say anything about the heroes. The heroes that you've seen from the individual series are in this one, right? The villains, though, I can't lie. There were a few villains. I'm
happy that they brought back Turk, because that's my boy. That's like my favorite. He's not even to me a villain. He's just an informant.
He's like. It's funny. He's like the opposite version of Claire. Like
he's like in everybody's show.
He's
only show I didn't see him in was Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah.
He could have. Well, he was probably busy. He was doing something else.
Probably.
It wouldn't have been a stretch for him to have some involvement in there.
I think he would have died if he was in Jessica Jones' show.
If he crossed paths with Jessica or
definitely Kilgrave. he would have got killed somewhere in the mix of that.
Yeah, Kilgrave would
Like,
have zero
absolutely.
tolerance
So,
for
absolutely not.
Turks.
So
nonsense.
we're talking about action. Can we just get to the action?
The good parts or the bad parts?
A medium of both.
All right.
I mean, we technically
we can start off with this.
The
Is there
dynamic.
action in the show? Yes, there's a lot of action in the show.
want to spoil it.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in the show, and you're definitely going to enjoy a lot of the parts. But you're also going to see some things that aren't too good.
Well,
Yeah,
can I mention too?
I just want to mention
it's
this
not gonna
before you
spoil
go
it.
into that.
No.
All right. Where the heck is my Jessica Jones action?
Yeah.
Where the heck is my Luke Cage
See,
action?
man.
Where is
Take
it?
him out.
That's what you're looking for?
He'll answer the question.
It was one of them. It was one of them.
You know where it was?
Where it was?
It was in Jessica Jones' back pocket.
Yeah. Oh.
And Luke Cage is too busy taking all the bullets.
Too
All the bullets.
No,
Taking
it-
all the bullets and drinking coffee.
No, as far as the action wise, the two people with the weakest character development in it was Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Jessica Jones, it was you see her scuffle, and then it was one hit of quitters. I don't know how many times I
She was
looked at
knocking
it.
people to sleep.
One hit of quitters.
Wham!
And then Luke Cage, anything that has to do with bullets, what he does, he turns his back like he's a shield. Like,
Also, with Luke Cage, I felt there were moments where he was getting hit that
You should.
he shouldn't have reacted.
Yeah.
He was reacting more like a more.
Oh, you mean
vulnerable-
like when
Yeah.
like during a certain fight with a certain person?
yeah.
When you kept getting knocked down?
even before that person came in.
When the person isn't even superhumanly strong, and you
Yeah.
should not be knocking them down like
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
the only
Right.
person that had legitimacy was another hero when they had a conflict. Well,
Yeah,
since we're not spoiling it, we'll leave it at that.
With their first
Yeah.
encounter.
Yeah.
that particular hit to the jaw.
Yeah, but everybody else, there is no reason why technically Luke Cage in this show should be the juggernaut, technically almost like it. But
I kind of stuff that
I
was going down shouldn't have gone down the way it went down. There was one character
Yeah.
in the show that definitely made sense because he didn't necessarily have to break bones or anything like that.
Yeah.
He had the ability to actually slow down your blood and basically, it's pinpoint acupuncture.
yeah.
And
yeah.
with that as well, I felt there was a lot of. Instead of us just witnessing stuff like that, there was a lot of explanation before stuff
Right.
took
Yeah.
place.
Right.
It was so that they say, okay, something's gonna happen, and this is why this is happening because we're gonna explain this person's abilities or
No,
something.
like,
but they never even explained. Well, they explained his abilities, but when you
they'll
think about
mention
it, the encounter with Luke Cage and that still didn't make no sense. But since it was dealing with a particular faction, and they actually showcased their powers overall,
Oh, the hands powers.
yeah, because okay, we seen from Daredevil and from Iron Fist what Madame Gao can do, and she actually showcases it even better in this one.
I mean,
in
we
what she
still
can do.
haven't seen the full extent
extent.
of Gal.
But
Gal is
the fact-
much stronger than she actually is on
Yeah,
leaves.
and
Speaking of
wait, hold on.
letting out, one of our main villains talked a big game,
yeah,
but
I was about to say that.
they didn't back it up at all.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, and I was actually
No.
upset by that because they made her literally to be the main
Made
antagonist,
them.
or made them, but they put her.
Man, let's be real. We saw the thing. We saw the trailer. It's a her. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So if y'all don't know if it's a her, you should at least watch the trailer. We got to say something here.
yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But no,
we're not going to
every-
be like the show and say something and then say
Pretty
nothing.
much.
No.
But no, okay, so the main antagonist, or the so-called main antagonist, pretty much her main ability was she knew how to budget money and spend money.
No, she
and
can
fund
fight too
and
now.
research. But we really didn't see it.
I saw some of it.
She
Practicing? Like she showed off. It's
Her
like,
biggest power is that she could talk a good game.
yeah.
That's true.
And she
She
knows how to
talk-
spend the last of resources.
And they all, she talked the biggest game out of a group that could talk a big game.
Yeah.
That is true.
The whole
Yeah.
group
The
was
whole
talking
group
about.
was
We've
talk the
been
best of
alive.
game.
We've been alive forever.
So her superpower
we beat
is
all these challenges.
verbal
and everything.
manipulation.
of her own people.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a good boss. She was a good team motivator.
She was.
That was it.
Yeah. So
I mean, this show's definitely
But
great.
I'm gonna say, but there was one scene when they're literally like, where is she? And she's in the back of a car, and the window rolls
Yes.
down,
Oh,
and she's
man.
just looking like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I-
I can't lie. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Kingpin with no action.
Kingpin does way more.
I said Kingpin with no action. That's exactly what.
Yo.
Yes.
role was.
Kingpin does way more, says much less.
Yes.
Let me put it
Yes.
like this:
Yes.
Kingpin holds it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Kingpin also answers to Madame Gao.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Kingpin, he was a man of respect.
But you know what?
He was a man of
But
respect.
you know why? But you know why? Because Kingpin ain't a fool.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no,
He's
he
not a
never
fool.
underestimates
See, and,
anyone.
and that's kind of
He
like.
knows. He knows that there's more to her than. meets
Yeah, but
the
see,
eye.
that's the weird thing. As far as business reference or intellect, you would think that the hand that's been around for God knows how long would
Millennia.
have some type. Like she literally has been running businesses and putting money together for the
thousands
longest
of years.
But yet and still, Kingpin, who's only been living like the human span, is better. Like
No, he's more cautious.
yeah, it's the
He
point
might be
where
ambitious,
it's
but
the
he-
writing.
it's
It's-
the point they brag, but they don't
But
give
let me
explanation.
say this:
'Cause it's not enough
it's
time.
one thing that he's ambitious, but it's also his mortality that makes him humble, that makes
Yeah.
him smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people here, the problem that their crux is that they lack that mortality.
Yeah.
They feel that they can live forever.
And yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah.
They talked about it all.
They talk about it all the time.
So question, guys. So as far as character development, could we say, not from a hero standpoint, villain
For the
standpoint,
villains.
yeah, the hand, the one character, she actually was weakened in her character when they mentioned that she was afraid to die.
I felt that could have been a strength.
that could have been a major strength.
Like when I think of
I was
that,
thinking
I think,
more like the wounded tiger scenario.
I was thinking Walter White from Breaking Bad. Like
But, I mean, as soon
because
as that-
they open up with that, and I feel like when someone who knows their time is limited is a very dangerous.
Most dangerous person.
True. But by them opening up and then us watching through it and then ending up what happened, it seemed like it felt like it was also like in compilation with the mother effect, because this person
Which
also
is-
had the power of resurrection in a
That
way.
shouldn't have been going down.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that came out of
That
nowhere.
came way out of left field. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
you think about this now?
I felt it was a means to explain something that was going to happen and that did happen, and
Right.
supposedly felt big
It shouldn't-
when
it
the
shouldn't.
the switcheroo
I felt like
or
that
whatever
shouldn't have happened though. I felt like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It was just a waste at that point. That could have been handled a lot better.
So pretty.
So
it-
to answer your question about character development, that was bad.
Yeah, that was weak sauce, man. That was.
Yeah, I have to
Me.
say, out of all the series, this one had probably the weakest character development. Even weaker than Iron Fist, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we talked about the heroes and the villains, but also weak along the side characters.
The side characters got crapped on.
Yeah,
I
well,
felt.
honestly,
There wasn't that many.
Yeah, well, the what's her name, Claire. She actually, it was a.
I don't consider her a side
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
Nah.
she's the Nick Fury of this kind
Well,
of
yeah.
situation.
But I will say this though,
And
even though it might
Stick
felt,
is Agent Coulson.
actually, I will say this.
And
Stick,
Colleen is the bus driver.
Yeah. Stick's role was actually not that bad.
I'm always happy to see Stick. Stick
Yeah.
is a
But-
Stick's the
But
best.
the setup for Misty Knight, you can't lie. You had to have liked that
It
part.
had to
when
have
it was
happened. It had to happen.
It had to.
I mean, the way it happened was kinda like, ooh, but-
and that's why I was a little.
Hype.
No,
I was
I wasn't
really-
hyped because
I
was
said-
more hyped when she, when there was an Easter egg to her losing her arm in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
In this one, it just felt
Sink. Oh, okay. That's how it happened.
like oh okay,
Alright.
like
Okay, I see what you mean.
it felt like like of all the many more Easter eggs they could have put into that, like
Yeah.
that one was just so blatant
Yeah.
and everything. It felt like they jumped the shark a little bit on that. Because honestly, I felt what they're doing with her character.
I knew
like,
it was gonna
she's-
happen when I saw that look on her face. She was like, "I'm gonna lose an arm today."
Yeah.
And what made it even worse is
I saw it. We all saw it.
She had that Malcolm X look in her eye, like right before he went.
It was building up for her. I felt she knew but one thing I did like is she at the beginning she gets back to the kind of annoying Misty Knight that was
I can't stand annoying Misty
who
Knight.
was bugging Luke Cage and stuff.
Yeah.
But after you thought they reconciled things and she understood, she kind of gets back to that, back to buy the badge and stuff like that. And with other characters, they kind of reverted back.
Here's a question to me:
like
when is Misty Knight supposed to start getting with Iron Fist? When is this supposed to happen?
well, because there's
maybe season 3
Colleen,
Defenders.
but there's Colleen,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and
So-
then there's
So what has to happen is either in season 2 of Iron Fist, or something happens
Well,
with Colleen.
Colleen stays. She doesn't
Yeah,
die.
she's-
No. I'm not talking
vigilante
about dying, but
right?
what I'm saying
She's-
is
she
something's
is a
going to
hero.
happen to where she's going to end up jumping ship.
Yeah, she is a hero.
Yeah, because remember she's been pushing this whole independence. I can fight for myself. They have certain scenes that
Yeah,
actually she pushes that a lot.
she
Like
pushes
I
that
don't
hard.
have. I am not a civilian or weak
Right.
human being. Like I'm.
She was
So
pushing.
I think in season 2.
She had lots of reason to feel that way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
But
of course.
for
but what
her
I'm saying
feeling
is-
that way, I thought they would have hit home that solidified that
Yeah.
in the show, and they didn't.
No, they didn't. But
I
what's
feel like, and another thing that I was going to say with Misty Knight, especially in that particular point in the show, they did hint that Danny Rand will be helping her.
Well, it's
Yeah.
good to have a billionaire around.
Well, yeah. I mean, it
So-
sounds like
yeah,
it sounds like the Tony Stark.
But not
you
only
know,
that, but I get what you're saying. With there's going to be a relationship there,
Some kind of relationship. First, it's going to be probably patient and
and then there'll be an understanding and
to a deeper
friendship,
understanding.
and then
Yeah.
probably
So,
more
and
friendship.
all that feels like that would happen in Iron Fist 3 because
Well,
in
what's
Iron
going to
Fist
happen
2,
with? My thing is, what's going to happen with Claire and Cage and
Claire
Jones?
is always going to be there.
Claire, Cage, and Jones.
As far as the trilogy,
Because they both know who likes who
Yeah.
no. Cage is with Claire.
right now.
What would be
Well,
interesting?
yeah, but
What would be interesting if they have Luke Cage and Iron Fist together,
Yeah.
like do like kind of seasons together, and all these different type of turn to a love circle then a triangle.
well, but the
That
thing
all
about it
these,
is,
like,
I will say
possibilities
this:
there.
they have referenced a lot that Claire doesn't want Cage to do half the stuff he's doing, but at the same time she's supporting it. It's kind of like she's contradicting herself a lot within what she says and the actions she's doing.
There's
As the
been a lot
coffee
of-
turns.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of contradiction with every side character in the show, from Daredevil's Foggy and what's her name?
Oh yeah.
Karen.
Yeah.
Well, Foggy, he did what he had to do because that's
Yeah,
That's
and I can't lie,
that's family.
I respect Foggy and what he did in this one. I actually do like Foggy.
I
in this.
respect Foggy what he does in every show.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about Defenders. I actually liked what he did in Defenders for the time he had.
Yeah, I felt Foggy of all the characters, side
He has
characters.
he has probably the most growth.
Exactly,
As a
exactly what I'm about to
character.
say.
He's
Yeah.
strong, man.
Yeah,
Better job,
Karen, I don't
but
know.
smarter as well.
I actually didn't like Karen's character in this too much.
She was all right. She was necessary.
Yeah,
Her character
I mean,
was necessary.
For Daredevil.
Yeah,
well,
that's all that needed to be there for. Really.
yeah,
But technically,
That's
Foggy,
why she was there. That's why she was there in the Daredevil in the first place.
yeah.
I know, but
In
when
season
it's,
two.
but I mean, when we're talking about Daredevil, when you're coming to Defenders, you know how the character that's kind of like
I'm gonna put it
not
like this.
necessarily needs to be there.
I'm gonna put it like this: she helped him make up his mind.
Yeah,
I think that was Foggy actually.
No, Foggy was going to be there for him no matter what. but she helped him make up his mind.
Yeah, maybe not
Because
not the effect she wanted.
No,
Yeah.
because she added that extra doubt and question into his head, you know, and he was like, "No, I am living my life." She was like, "You're trying to build your life up."
Yeah.
She's like, "This is my life. What are you talking about?"
She had the opposite effect of
Yeah.
what she was trying to do, but
What she was really trying to do
effective.
is deter him away from just living the life, instead of just letting him live the life he wants to
She,
live.
you know, referred to as, you know, a
But that's the
phase
reason why I
or something
reference
like that.
a certain sensei that was helping him with a lot of stuff. Well, we'll just say the Chinese restaurant. We'll just leave it at that. That meetup, because a lot of dialogue within that
meetup
was
made me
really.
hungry.
I know, right, yo. The
You know,
food.
we ordered Chinese, right?
Huh?
We ordered Chinese when that happened.
Really?
I had to.
Oh man.
My worst.
Yo, like my favorite part is yo. But that nose skill that Daredevil has, I thought it was like he was like, no. That's the shrimp. There's the pork. Yeah. And it was like, man, you're weird. Like it was awesome. But guys, you want to wrap this up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as you could tell,
Because
like
anything else is gonna be spoiler-tastic.
yeah, but as you could tell, it's kind of like a love and hate relationship as we're talking about
It's
the series.
It's character heavy, like more so character than story. So you're going to see like just like multiple relationships. Alright. For a first attempt of a street level Avengers with Netflix, because I think this is the first for them too.
Yeah, it is.
What would you say?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
I was gonna give it a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
yeah.
'Cause-
I will be in the middle with a 6.5.
Yeah, I hate to be so harsh on it, but I definitely felt like it could be better as all in all as a show, simply because they kind of went light on the on the plot.
They played it safe.
Yeah.
They played it real safe on the plot, and I don't even think they played it safe on the villains. They just lightened it up. They just really just
Villains
went
were just
flat.
pieces on the
They went
on the
flat on the
board.
villains, and at the very end of the show, I didn't even care anymore. I
I
was
felt
asleep.
they said let's work on what they believe
They
made
were-
these shows.
I think
all
what they
good
were really
and
doing
the hero
It's just
characters.
trying to connect them together and then push it for the next
Yeah,
one.
by the end, you could tell they were just trying to just throw it into the next couple of shows
Yeah.
that they were working on. I was like, come on, guys, this is
Well,
lazy.
normally I'm the one that nitpicks certain details, but I'm trying not to, because there was some funny parts, there was lighthearted parts, a lot of like heartfelt parts too. Action was somewhat decent. Character development was gray area.
I mean, all that aside,
Yeah.
we're taking all that into account
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
give this score.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just all we see is the bad. We definitely see the good. That's
Yeah.
the reason why it's not at a 4
Yeah.
or a 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
But
mean,
also as a first attempt, that's why I'm giving it such a high one. So 7. Yeah.
6 for me. Sorry, guys. I wish I could give it more, but I didn't get the wow effect.
You need Captain America 3. That's what you need.
No, what I need is some Wakanda in my life.
Which will be coming soon.
I know it
Well,
will.
February soon, but
And then some Thor, of course. Thor. The Ragnarok need to happen already.
oh man.
Anyway, guys, that's our
talking
time. I'm
Yep.
Jacob.
I'm James,
And I'm Charles.
and like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you like the podcast, guys, about Defenders. If you've seen it, let us know what you think, and
See you next
peace.
time.
Peace.